If you see, the other side of the vase is over there, so that's the inner part. So what we can do is just do a cylindrical projection right here, and that lays it flat, and that is the inner part of the vase. So we pretty much, what we did is kind of deconstructing it, okay? There are some problems with the construction of the vase that is creating this part over here to do some deformation. I did post another series of videos on how to fix the problem with the geometry, but if that is if you're using a procedural map, you don't need to go to that extent. If you're using a texture map for the vase, then you might need to fix the problem with the geometry. I think this file was made with a much older version of 3D Studio Max, and when translated into newer versions, it has caused some deformations on the UVs and on the vertices of the objects themselves. So that is pretty much the cause for that. The only reason I would suggest to get rid of that is if you're using a textural bitmap. The next thing we need to do is to assign, pretty much scale everything to fit inside the UV texture area, like that. And I believe is, which is the combination, let me see. Yes, control key scales uniform. So that way, if you need to scale everything on every axis, you can do it that way. Or if you need to scale everything on one axis, you can just grab one axis and stretch it up, or make it wider as needed to as soon as you add the map for the checker map test. Okay, so that's pretty much it. This is the area where we're seeing that issue with the side of the vase. So, and that has to do with the fact that we have a lot of triangles there, and we would need to reconstruct that. In practice, if you start getting seams there and you decide to use a bitmap or a JPEG, and you get some distortion there, just put that on the part that goes against the wall, and it's not going to be seen by the camera. Usually in productions, when the gamers are going to go around an object and the object is against the wall, that's against the wall right there is a good place to hide any seams or distortions on the maps, because they're not going to be seen, because they're just against the wall and the person is not going to be behind the wall. Okay, so let's try this out, and I hope it helps.